Now that we've properly imported the mbfdog header file into the mbfviewcontroller.m or implementation class, we now can properly instantiate our object from code. So we're going to want to make sure that we're in mbfviewcontroller.m, and I'm going to want to make sure I'm writing my code again inside of the viewDidLoad method so that we can instantiate or create our dog object. First, we'll start with our class name or type, which is going to be mbfdog. And we're going to see here that we get an autocomplete, so I can simply press return and I don't get an error any longer. Next, I can add a char star or asterisk. Since this is an object, we will be needing to create a variable name next to reference our object. So let's give this a variable name. We can simply say that this is going to be my dog. And we have to set this equal to a value. In this case, the value must be an object. So let's figure out how to create an object. First, we need to add two left brackets, and we're going to use our class name mbfdog, and again we get this autofill, and we're going to tell our class to allocate some memory because our class knows how much space it needs to save inside of our memory for this object. Unlike primitives, which are like integers, floats, and bools, which are much more simplistic and they know approximately how much memory they're going to require, objects are much more complicated, so the class keeps track of how much memory it'll need approximately. Next, we tell the returned space to initialize an object, or actually go ahead and create my object. And there's more to this, but we'll talk about that in a later video. For now, that's kind of the simplistic explanation as to what's going on. Finally, all my statements end in a semicolon, and if I press return here, I now have a dog object, and its variable name, or the name I reference my dog, is called my dog. We should note though that we haven't set any properties for our dog object yet, so right now it's very generic. Also, we should note that we're taking a look at a little bit of a new syntax here in which we're putting two brackets together. And what's going on here is this is called an embedded method call. The method call inside, which is the inside set of brackets, occurs first, and then init is called on the returned value from mbfdog alloc. So there's actually two method calls occurring here, and they're occurring in order from inside to outside. And we'll talk more about method calls and embedded method calls in a later video, but that's what's going on with these brackets, and that's the reason that we're using them.